Year 2. It is Friday the 26th of February and it is our last comprehension session of this week. Big well done for all of your super comprehension and writing challenges that you've been doing this week. So we've got one more activity to do for today and then one more week of home learning next week before we're all back in school. And we can't wait to do some reading and some writing with you when you are back and seeing how you are going to be using all your super skills that you've practiced at home. So a big well done for this week. Let's see what we are up to today. Our learning question today then says, can I write sentences about a picture? Now, Year 2, we are going to do it a little bit different today because what the page in the book looks like it is an activity that I think you did similar in the last book. It's an activity where we've got a picture with no colours and then it tells you what colours to colour everything in. But what I'm going to say is that you can do that as a challenge today. And we're going to do our writing activity as our main activity today. So let's have a little think about how we are going to be able to write some sentences about a picture. We're going to practice with a picture on the board. And then I want you as your first activity to go and write some sentences about the picture in your book. Okay. What we're going to think about first are nouns. Now, a noun, you might have heard that word before. A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Okay, so a noun. When you write a sentence, the sentence is usually going to be about a person, a place, or a thing. So what we're going to think about first of all today, when we look at our picture, we're going to think about what we might want to write a sentence about. So a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So let's think of some examples of nouns. Okay. Boy would be a noun. The boy is a kind of person, isn't it? Beach might be a noun because a beach is a place that we could go to, isn't it? Or table is a thing. Those are all nouns. So boy, beach, table, park, window, cat are all nouns. They're all things that we can name. They're people, places, or things. Okay, so let's have a think about our first activity. What I would like you to do, either in your red book or on your whiteboard, is to write me the word nouns and draw a circle around it like I've done. And for your first activity, what I would like you to do is to see if you can write 5 different nouns. And I want to see if you can come up with some ones that are different to mine. Okay, so I thought of boy, the boy. You might need to have your phonics mat with you to help you out with your sounds and your spelling. So boy. I also said beach, beach. You can see that even though I've drawn my lines where I'm going to write, my writing is still straight. So I'm not doing my writing wonky and all down. So if you're using your lined book, you'll still be able to write your words on the line, please. Okay, and if you're doing it on your whiteboard, try like I'm doing to make my words straight. So boy is a noun, beach is a noun. I also had table, didn't I? Table, table. I want you to see if you can come up with 5 different ones. So animals, I mentioned cats, and I also had window, didn't I? I also had window. You might want to have a think from your phonics this week and think about what nouns you might have thought about in your phonics to have an extra practice of your phonics sounds. I know that you did the air sound one day. So maybe you could think of some nouns with the air sound or the ow sound that you've been practicing this week. So first activity is to see if you can write me down 5 nouns. Now you might be able to do more than 5, and that would be brilliant, but at least 5, please. So you will need either your red-lined book and your pencil, your whiteboard and your pen, and you will need your phonics mat to help you with your sound. So come back to me when you've got 5. Okay. Don't forget to ask your grown-up to send us a photo of your 5 nouns that you've been thinking of today. Okay, now I've got a picture there. This picture looks like these people are camping, doesn't it? It looks like they've gone camping. So I want you to pause the video again now, and I would like you to tell your grown-up what nouns you can spot in this picture. What nouns, what things have we got in this picture that we could write a sentence about? And then I'm going to practice doing some sentences on my board. Okay, so give the video a pause. What nouns have we got in this picture? What things could we write about? Things could we write about? Okay, did you come up with some? Did you think of some nouns? I'm going to write just a few down. There are lots and lots and lots to think about in this picture. Okay, I can see that we have got a dog. So a dog would be a noun. We've had cat, now we've had dog. Got boy. We've also got a girl, haven't we? We've also got a girl. So we might want to write a sentence about a girl. We've got a tent. We might want to do a sentence about a tent. We've got some food here being cooked, haven't we? We've got food. That's a noun. That's the name of something. Okay. It looks like they're here. They are having a picnic. That would be a noun as well, wouldn't it? A picnic. So what we're going to do is using some of the nouns that we have thought about, we're going to see if we can write some sentences using those nouns, sentences about this picture. So to help us, we might need to have our sound mat to make sure that we are sounding out and choosing the right sounds for the words that we want to spell and write in our sentence. And then we've also got some tricky words which might be needed in our sentences today. Can you tell your grown-up or shout out what this tricky word is? It's the, isn't it? The dog, the girl, the boy. And the is often a word that might come at the start of a sentence, isn't it? Oh, tricky word. What's this one? A-R-E is tricky word. Are. They are. I've got my word they there, haven't I? No, they's a tricky one. So I've got the word they. T-H-E-Y to make the A sound. They. Then I've got he and she, and then lastly I've got the word there. That is there. It's one of our tricky words that we need to know. So I'm going to use some of these words in my sentences as well. Now let's just have a little scratch of our heads and a little reminder what a sentence needs. So a sentence has got to have at the start a capital letter. Between every word we need a finger space. At the end of a sentence we need a full stop, and we want to see our beautiful cursive handwriting as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my picture. I'm going to choose one of my nouns to write about. I'm going to start with dog. Okay, so I'm going to think about the dog, and I'm going to say that the dog, if I look at what he's doing in the picture, the dog is sat down. So the dog is sat down. So I'm going to start with the, but remembering to use a capital letter. And remember, my capital letters should go almost to the next line. So the, same for my tall letters, the. Notice how I'm starting every letter on the line, because that's how we do it using cursive handwriting, isn't it? So the, now I need a finger space, dog. The D is tall, so it should have a tall stick. The D, and then G goes under the line. And you see how the round parts of my letters are all the same size as well. So the dog, finger space, is, finger space, the dog is, can you remember what my sentence was? The dog is sat at, the dog is sat down. Ow, so we would need ow for cow. You know that O and a W. You could check that on your phonics mat if you were writing down, down. Full stop. The dog is sat down. So when we've written a sentence, it's always a good idea to go back and read it afterwards. The dog is sat down. That's a sentence about the picture. Let's go back to the picture then. So I've done the dog, Oh, I think I might write a sentence about the tent now. Let's see, you've got a red tent. So there is a red tent. There is a red tent. That's going to be my next sentence. So I've got tricky word there. It's going to need a capital letter. There is a red tent. So I've said the sentence to get it in my head first. There. T-H-E-R-E. There. Finger space. Is. Finger space. A. Finger space. Red. Red. There is a red. Got a blend at the end. To end. Full stop. We could have even extended that sentence and said there is a red tent on the grass, couldn't we? We could have made that even longer. Okay, so I've got two sentences there now. Let's think about just doing one more. So I've done the dog, I've done the tent. I'm going to say something about the food. And the food is cooking, isn't it? And it looks like a lady is cooking the food. So I'm going to use tricky word she. She is cooking the food. She is cooking the food. So capital S, and the capitals need to be tall. H is tall, but then E is short. She, finger space, is. She is cooking. Cooking. So we needed our oo sound for that one, didn't we? She is cooking the is tall T, tall H, small E. She is cooking the, food's got another oo sound in, hasn't it? F's a tricky letter, isn't it? F's a tricky one. Maybe you could be practicing that on letter drawing if you're finding F a bit hard. She is cooking the food. Super, super, super. So I've got three sentences there about my picture. Now, let's have a little look then at your picture and at your text, your page in the textbook today. So fishing by the river, page 5. Let's go to that now. Fishing by the river, page 5. So we're going to ignore, first of all, the activity from the book because I want to make this a writing activity first. But what you might look at is all of the points, all of the 8 things it asks you to find. You will have the nouns. Okay, so we have got the nouns in the picture: a dog, a river, a bucket, a hat, boots, clouds, houses, and path. But there are lots of other nouns in the picture that aren't mentioned that you might want to write about, because I've noticed a frog here, I've noticed a frog, okay, that you might want to write about. You've said about the dog, so you can have a little think. Okay, we've got a man or a boy that you might want to write about. So what your activity is going to be then, like we've just done on the board, is to choose some nouns. And I would like at least 3, but I think 5 sentences would be really, really super if you could. But try to do me at least 3, please, sentences about this picture. So think about what nouns you've got. Think about what the nouns are doing or where the nouns are. And I would like you to have a go in your red book at writing at least 3 sentences first of all about this picture in the book. So first job is to do your writing, and I'm going to put those tricky words on that you might need. So we've got the and are and he and there. Taken some of them off because they don't link to our picture. So we don't need she because we haven't got any girls or ladies in our picture. So you might want to use those words in your sentences. Okay, so first job is going to be to write the sentences. And then if you do have some colours at home, if you do have some coloured pens or some coloured pencil crayons, you can have a go at colouring in everything in the right colour. So our page says find these things in the picture and colour them in the right colour. Okay, so it says a brown dog, a blue river, a purple bucket, a red hat, 2 black boots, 4 grey clouds, 6 yellow houses, and an orange path. So if it is that you do have those colours and you would like to colour that in extra, that is great. But I know some of you might not have all of those colours at home. So our first activity today is going to be a writing one. Okay, so writing one first, and if you would like to colour in the picture, you can do. Okay, I would love to see all of the bits that you've been up to today, thinking about your nouns, thinking about your writing activity, and then if you do manage to have a go at colouring the book, I would like to see that as well. Well done for working so hard this week. Can't wait to see your Friday learning. Have a lovely, lovely weekend, and we'll see you on Monday for our last week of home learning. Well done, Year 2. See you soon.